Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another speeder bike. This is yet again a very compact one, features the flat atmospheric thrusters to minimize its overall size, and it's called the Bumblebee Speeder Mk, which is this lovely thing that I'm currently driving. So this is an exceptionally great speeder bike that features a ore detector at the back as well as a small connector so you can dock this thing up and recharge all of its batteries, which is its primary way of getting power. It features no cargo containers, it's got no weapons, but it is easily upgradable with weapons or other stuff you need on this due to the amount of space that you can claim up by removing a few blocks here and there. We'll go through that a bit later on, but for now, pressing F10, finding it in the spawn menu, the Bumblebee is 60 small blocks using the Automaton's DRZ pack. We've got one hell of a lot of information about it at the top here, then scrolling down slightly we've got its technical stuff of what it has, what it doesn't have, if it's survival ready, its block, its PCU, its mass, then all the way at the bottom we then see its performance on the Earth-like planet, where its acceleration, hover time, and its recommended flight mode is listed. So giving this thing a thumbs up, which I already have, move around towards the very front, we'll have a very brief look around the outside. There's not too much to talk about with this thing, they'll go through the controls and test it out. So for the very front, the Bumblebee, this is what we get. Well, we can see two flat atmospheric thrusters with a battery and gyroscope sitting right behind it. Moving around on the side, we're going to see another flat atmospheric thruster for our left and right, as well as a small open section where right in there we can see one of many batteries to power this thing, but if we come up slightly and look down, we've got a small fin that's almost like a hatch that's been opened up to reveal the battery. So yes, if you are worried about that battery taking damage, as well as the one on the opposite side, you could always block this thing up, but it's quite handy to be able to see the batteries at a glance to see what's going on with them. Anyway, back down and moving across, there's our saddle cockpit to drive this thing around. There's some fantastic use of our arm and panel just going along the side there, bridging the front of the vehicle towards the back, where our ore detector and connector are sitting. And speaking of connector and ore detector, here they are, so that's how they've been positioned. So we can dock this thing up, recharge our batteries if we need to, and of course to load up any old goods, like say batteries, power packs, or whatever we need on our adventure into that connector as a small temporary storage. Moving all the way down slightly, there's some more fan atmospheric thrusters to boost us around, with once again some batteries sitting right behind there. Then looking all the way up at this thing, another fan atmospheric thruster keeps us off the ground. There's the bottom of our ore detector, bottom of our saddle cockpit, then over to there, we've got our batteries, more flat atmospheric thrusters, and coming all the way up and looking down this thing, there we are, there's a little fin for the opposite side, and not too much else to talk about. So there we are with the outside. Before I actually go through the controls, before we fly this thing around, let me just grab hold of my character, hop out of this, remove these steel blocks at the front, and place on a Gatling gun. So here we go, we can now have a gun on that side, and if you really wanted to, you could put some small cargo containers on the opposite side, for a bit of extra storage if that's what you want. But I'm just going to remove them, put an extra gun on there, and there we are, we now got a bit of offense, going to deal with any kind of drones that come after us. Yes, as for the actual controls of this vehicle, ignoring the Gatling guns that are just placed on this, we've got number 1 for our ore detector on and off, number 2 for that connector to lock and unlock it, number 4 is then for your batteries to auto recharge, and of course these were only powered by batteries that will shut off the entire vehicle, and they've got number 5, number 6 for your thrust override to move forwards, so we turn that all the way up, move forwards to go to a little cruise, or put it all the way down to fly it normally. Number 8 is then to toggle our gyroscope override, where as we can right now, just move this thing around and just do whatever. If we were to turn that on, we can now no longer move it with the mouse, we simply move it around in straight lines. Turning that off and pressing number 9, that's for your atmospheric thrusters all around the ship to turn it on and off, and I was expecting that to happen, so spawning a brand new one, popping back inside, over to tab number 2, we've got nothing else. I think it's time for me to try this thing around before that happens again. So third person view, moving forwards, bearing in mind that I've got Skybox that increases the speed limit from 100 to 160 meters per second, this thing is surprisingly fast. It'll be very good for escaping any kind of enemy drones that spawn in vanilla Space Engineers, but any kind of modded enemies that could go a bit faster than the traditional drones, it might have a bit of a problem actually escaping their weapons. Yes, he's driving around here, you can see the power is maxing up slightly. This is going to be purely because of our thrusters underneath. The 3 fan atmospheric thrusters keep us off the ground, the 2 that move us forwards, then trying to move left or right will overload the battery, so that is to be aware. But if you are playing careful, if you are playing sensibly, it's not too bad to drive around at the end of the day. And yes, you can see our power is about 22 minutes, so we can't go too far away from our base, unless we were to slap on some kind of renewable power or a small reactor. As it stands, it's a nice little vehicle to go out and about and exploring, find some ore patches, or finding a general location to base up and make yourself a little home. As for that, that's pretty much it for all the Speeder has to offer. It's just a lovely little thing to use in the world. Very easy to customize if you want to do that. And there'll be a link to its description below to just download and play around it yourself. Highly recommend you do. I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.